Welcome. We're glad you're here and tuned into the Findlay Community Spotlight Series. Findlay Automotive Group is proud to spotlight the Salvation Army. We know you'll be surprised to see all the good programs they offer in our community, and we invite you to connect with them and other community organizations at findlayspotlight.com.
My name is Major Randy Kinnaman. I'm the Clark County Coordinator for the Salvation Army in Southern Nevada. The Salvation Army is a world organization started in 1865 in the East End of London. There was a Methodist preacher named William Booth, and he decided to bring the church out onto the streets. He was one of the original soapbox preachers, and his idea was that people that need Christian faith the most weren't coming into the churches. But he had a disagreement with his leaders, and they said, it's embarrassing that you're out on the street, come back into the church. So he left the church and started a mission to bring people to Christian faith and send them back to their family churches. The problem was most of them weren't welcomed because they had a history of drugs, alcohol abuse, prostitution, and so forth. So he found himself with an army of misfits, named his organization, or renamed it, the Salvation Army, made himself the general, of course, and all of his best people that were good speakers and leaders became lieutenants and captains and majors, and at that time probably about 16 different ranks. Today we only have 7 ranks. Twice a year we have 15 men and women who join a culinary arts program, and they become a fully qualified chef. And virtually every one of them finds work, and sometimes we take them to work for us.
My name is Jeremy Wood. I'm the executive chef here at the Salvation Army. In 2008, I became a victim of the recession and struggled for a year to make ends meet and was unable to do so, and ended up in 2009 homeless here in what we call the Corridor of Hope. Which is this area where most of the shelters are in Las Vegas. I was pretty scared. I didn't know what I was going to do for food. I had no idea what homelessness was about, and came up to the Salvation Army to take advantage of a program that I had heard about, which was a vocational rehab and training program where they will house you, feed you, and essentially put you through various types of schooling. I chose for myself to take advantage of a culinary training program. I have a skill set now where I could go out to a major resort property or somewhere, but there's a certain place in my heart where I'm trying to help as many people as possible. I see a lot of people who I was homeless with myself, people that I slept on the same street with, on the same corner, on the same sidewalk, in the shelter. And people who've been homeless for years that may think, I just see the hopelessness in a lot of people's eyes, and I just try and mingle in the community and say, hey, you know what? It's possible. I had nothing. Now I have everything.
I'm Tim Arnold, the Director of Stuff and Things here at the Pinball Hall of Fame, the last real arcade in America. We all volunteer, work here for free. We hang out together, fix pinball machines, have fun, and we open our museum to the public so they can come in and put coins in the games, and then we turn around and give those quarters to local social service organizations like the Salvation Army. And the Salvation Army is kind of like us. They're not really fancy. They don't spend a lot of money on unimportant things. The Pinball Hall of Fame just donated $100,000 to the Salvation Army to sponsor 2 classes at the culinary program. Pinball Hall of Fame is a unique attraction. There's nothing else like it anywhere in the world, and it also happens to be one of the few things you can still do in Las Vegas for free. We offer free parking, free admission, and half our games still cost $0.25. So think about that for a minute and then decide, yeah, I should really go over and play some pinball.
My name is Philip Holland. I'm the Director of Social Services for the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army is just so thrilled to be a huge partner in our community here in Southern Nevada by being able to serve over 1,000 meals every single day to those in need in our community. Those are struggling, that have no food. They're able to come into our dining room each and every day for our community meal. We serve 1:30 to 2:30, get a hot, nutritious meal, be able to go back out on the streets and be able to seek those employment opportunities. But while they're here, we hope that they take advantage of our vocational training program. They're able to take advantage of our veteran services programs. They're able to access all of our services and wraparound services in the community. It might be rental assistance, utility assistance. If they have their own place, they can certainly get food from our Hope Market.
Another program that's underexposed here in Southern Nevada is our Seeds of Hope anti-human trafficking program.
My name is Brittany. I am the program director for Seeds of Hope. We're a Salvation Army program that provides services to victims of human trafficking. There's the intensive case management, where we first start to work with the immediate needs. So that might be immediate shelter, food, clothing, maybe medical needs. And we first start to address those. And then we go through and start to look at all of the psychosocial things going on in a person's life when they're getting out of the human trafficking situation.
I was having a lot of emotional problems. After I was a victim of sex trafficking, I was suffering from depression, and I felt like I had nowhere to turn. I was hopeless because nothing like that had ever happened to me, and I was basically feeling lost. My life has changed completely thanks to Seeds of Hope. They are wonderful people helping those who struggle like me. Not only did they help me with getting help for my depression, but also for my kids who were also affected by my situation. And they helped me also with housing and food and also personal hygiene stuff that I needed when I was struggling the most and I couldn't afford it.
So we really help them to know what their victim rights are and then be able to go through the process. If they do want to talk to somebody about what happened to them, report to law enforcement. If law enforcement is already involved and they have a case going on in the legal system where they are going to be discussing their case in front of a jury and things like that, then we provide the advocacy, the emotional support, and we help walk them through it.
I just think I don't really have any confidence in making decisions by myself. Alone, lost, and just inherited a new baby at that time. I am the grandmother of him. So right before I got my grandson, I had went to jail. And I decided that time when I was in jail, when I got out, I didn't want to go back to jail anymore, and that no matter what I had to do, I was going to do whatever it took not to go back. It was really complicated because I didn't have guardianship of him to get him a lot of services and things that he needed. Well, Seeds of Hope gave me the referral for the Nevada Legal Services, Nevada Legal Aid Services, and I was able to get a pro bono attorney.
You know, at the Salvation Army, what I'm thrilled about is that for us on our work, we are not just about a transaction. It's not just about providing the service. It's about transformation. It's about having that dialogue, having that conversation with the individuals to learn about all the various barriers that may be out there, the obstacles that are keeping them from being successful in their lives. And if it's a matter of getting a driver's license, let's get them a driver's license. If it's a birth certificate that's needed, let's pay for that birth certificate. Whatever is needed, let's make that happen and let them be successful, and we want to be there to celebrate their success in our community.
My name is Keith Schmidt. I'm a single father with 3 daughters. That's Anna, Lily, and Chloe. One's 4, and I have an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old. We was in the Shelter of Hope at first, and then Kevin's calling us from the Salvation Army ended up taking over my case and got us into a house.
Well, for the Salvation Army, we've got many, many programs and services available to our low income, to our homeless community, just helping people get back on their feet, overcoming some of the obstacles, the challenges, some of the decisions they may have made that have led them to the Salvation Army, that we want to help them get back on their feet, stabilized, and really just be able to be self-sufficient in our community.
One thing that we did a year or so ago was we went around town and we put bumper stickers on trash receptacles near the casinos and places where there were a lot of food. People would be rummaging for food, and it said, "Don't eat food here, call the Salvation Army." And that's been very effective. I have about 80 employees here in Southern Nevada, and they're great, but they can't do everything that's needed. They need volunteers, and I literally have hundreds and hundreds of volunteers throughout the year that do different things. I have a volunteer coordinator, Connie Brown, and if someone would like to find a place, she'll match you up. You can call Connie at area code 702-870-4430. If you're looking for making a donation, Of course, we do our regular mail appeal. We do our Christmas kettles. People respond to that. Sometimes, though, people just respond by sending a check out of the blue in the mail. Best place to do that is at our administrative offices. Best address is 2900 Palomino Lane in Las Vegas, 89107. The Salvation Army has a great website. It's salvationarmysouthernNevada.org, and you'll find everything you could possibly want to know about what the Salvation Army does in Southern Nevada on that website. So in order to do what we do in the Salvation Army, we can't rely on just the staff that we have. We can't rely on just the officers, or even our volunteers, or even just people who donate money. All of that put together, I like to say none of us are Superman, but all together we can be Superman and do super things. And that's the goal that I have as the administrative officer for the Salvation Army, to bring everybody together to do super fantastic things.